Welcome to Academy Lanes for another match from the recent World Singles Tournament. This is a third round match featuring Chris Sargent and Nate LeBlanc. And getting it right underway, Chris Sargent is on the right lane, Nate LeBlanc on the left lane, lane 23. Chris starts off with a half Worcester and converts it. Great shot to get right out of the box for Chris Sargent. And Nate LeBlanc with a spare, also converting the 7-10, utilizing a piece of wood. Let's look at both of these spares. First, Chris Sargent goes to the right side of the head pin and converts that half Worcester. And Nate LeBlanc with the 7-10. The ball comes back, and you can see it takes out the 10. And it looks like that piece of wood coming off the wall probably would have taken out the 7 pin as well if the ball hadn't come back. Chris Sargent with, it's going to be an 8 drop on the spare, and a strike by Nate LeBlanc in the second box. So he is off to a flying start in the first two. Chris Sargent looking at the 1 and 10, some wood that looks pretty favorable, but he doesn't get it. He actually pounded that head pin straight back, and nothing touched the wood in front of the 10 pin, which is kind of surprising. So he'll take a 10 box in the second. He'll have 28 through 2. And let's look again at the strike by Nate LeBlanc. Not much doubt about this. That one is just a hammer right there in the second box. Nate, as you probably know, is a former winner of this event. I think it was in 2011. We have a video of that somewhere. His victory in the finals of this World Singles Knockout Tournament. Chris Sargent with a spare in the third. Nate LeBlanc looking at 2 and 7, and he's got it. He actually went to the right of the 2 pin, but used that piece of wood behind the 2 to snap around and get the 2, and then went back and got the 7. And there is another 110 8 drop by Chris Sargent. That's not an editing error. That's actually his fill ball in at the start of the fourth frame, but he just happened to leave the same 110. And again, it doesn't go. That was really strange not to see the 10 pin go. Meanwhile, Nate LeBlanc with his 4th consecutive mark. Chris Sargent with a 10 box, so he has 56 through 4, while Nate LeBlanc has 69, still with the spare to fill. Chris Sargent with a 9 drop. And Nate will add, it's going to be 7. So he has 76 through the 4th. And Chris Sargent goes by the 7 pin, so he'll be open in the 5th. Let's see what Nate can do with this 5, 7, 10 with wood. He almost makes it, utilizing the wood to get the 5 and 7, but nothing covered the 10. So Nate will have a 10 box, and as they switch lanes, Nate goes over to 24 and Chris comes over to lane 23. You can see that Chris, despite having a 65 half, is down by 21 pins to Nate LeBlanc's 86 half. So he'll have some work to do in the second half of this match. Nate LeBlanc with a 7 drop. He's got the 4, 7, 8 triangle, and what is that piece of wood going to do? It's going to be kind of flattened out in front of it. Pretty well out. I think it's out by where the deck meets the lane. And he pushes it straight back for the spare in the 6th box. Chris Sargent 2, 4, 10, and he cuts it a little too thin, cuts the 2 pin right in front of the 10. That's a great try by Chris Sargent, but the spare proves elusive in the 6th box, so he'll have a 10. And that's a little disappointing there to see that not go, because obviously when your opponent is on as much of a hot streak as Nate LeBlanc, you really need to convert every mark opportunity. Nate with a 7 on the spare. He's got the 4, 5, and 7 piece of wood out front Chris Sargent with a 6. He's got 1, 2, 8, 9. And Nate with a nice shot there using the wood to convert the 4, 5, 7. Chris Sargent also with a great spare, covering the 1, 2, 8, and 9. So they both have spares in the 7th. Nate has 103 with a ball. Actually 113, so he has 119 through the 7th. And Chris Sargent with 85 plus the spare fill. And is that going to go? It does. That is a strike in the 8th box for Chris Sargent. Very timely. And a spare in the 8th for Nate LeBlanc. He runs down that 4 horseman left side, and you'll see here actually the top end of the 4 pin just grazes the 7 as it goes by to convert that 1, 2, 4, 7 combination. And a strike in the 9th for Nate LeBlanc. Chris Sargent working on this strike. He pretty much needs to have another one at this point. And he misses the head pin, drops 5. You can see he's a little disgusted because he knew he needed the double right there. So Chris will be opened in the 9th box. Nate LeBlanc will have 149 through 9 plus the strike fill. Nate drops 7. He's got 3, 7, and 10 with several pieces of wood. And a great shot right there, using the wood to cover, shoot right over and cover that 3 and 10 while the ball takes out the 7. So that's a spare in the 10th for Nate LeBlanc. He will have 169 with 1 ball remaining. Chris Sargent will finish with a 130. So not too bad a string at all for Chris, but it's not going to be enough this time when you have a buzzsaw rolling against you like Nate LeBlanc right at the moment. 1 ball to throw and just a half Worcester on the last ball, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be a 171 game for Nate LeBlanc. And as we go up to look at the overhead scoreboard, you can see 171 for Nate and 130 for Chris Sargent. And we will give you a chance to look at the PowerPoint scoreboard as you can look at this final score in this 3rd round match here at World's Singles.